It's Rob and Sandra from My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Rob.
How are you?
I'm good.
What's so funny?
Oh, it's just, I'm drinking one of my homemade smoothies.
Which one? There's many.
I know. I tried a new thing this morning.
Oh.
I put a little bit of purple cabbage in with the blueberries because it's purple anyways. And I had to use that up in the fridge. And yeah.
Smoothie's kind of like a cold soup.
Yeah.
It's like you just, well, I should rephrase that. It's like one of those things where like you can use up a whole bunch of things, and there's so many different things you can put in a smoothie, and we're going to share some of those ideas with you because a lot of people probably don't realize that you could put cabbage in your smoothie, myself included, by the way.
But you had some
why
of
is
that.
it so chewy?
Very funny. Well, actually, that's good. It's actually
Fiber.
not a bad thing to have to chew a little bit with your smoothie because you remember with chewing, you're actually starting the digestion process. So it helps with your body getting ready to receive the nutrients and be able to break it down. And not that you have to chew all your smoothies or anything like that. But if you drink your smoothie really fast, you'll probably get indigestion.
Personally, I don't like to chew my smoothie. I like it really nice and smooth and creamy, but and I drink it slow because it's smooth and creamy and it just feels good.
You know,
going
there's
down.
One thing I think I get what you're saying, and I totally agree with you. And there's something that I put into all our smoothies that make it creamy. And what's that?
Ice cream.
It's green.
Ice cream. No, green? Figs. Well, figs, I put those in all my smoothies and they make it like so good. And you have a secret green thing too?
A secret one, yeah. Well, we talked about it on episode 55 called Awesome Avocados.
Oh, would it be, you mean the avocado?
Yeah, you're so funny, Rob.
Yeah.
Nice try, as if you didn't know.
They're good too. I always forget to put avocado in.
That's why we have the frozen avocado.
I think I'm still in the mindset where my smoothies have fruit. I haven't like crossed over to the vegetable bit yet.
Avocados are a fruit, honey. We talked about that in episode 55.
I'm failing today.
No, you're not.
Holy. I'm going to have to re-listen to that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, well, so this is a mini midweek episode, Nutrition Nuggets. And
I forgot to say that. This is Nutrition Nuggets.
That's right. Well, I kind of interrupted. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
We're talking about homemade smoothies, how to build a nutrient-dense and flavorful smoothie. So, actually, I just want to go over what else we're going to talk about just briefly. It's how to build the smoothie.
We're going to talk about the weather at all? Stanley Cup? Any of those things?
No.
No, okay. Okay, carry on. Just checking.
Health benefits of a smoothie, ways to get variety and nutrition and flavor. And we already talked about sipping slowly for digestion and maybe even chewing.
Chewing. For those thick, fibrous smoothies.
Well, if it's too thick, you probably need more fluid in it because if you're making a cement smoothie, then I think you need adding more fluid.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like when you take that last sip of coffee and you get all the grounds and it's just like, ugh, It's like when you have berries in your smoothie and you get all those like little seeds. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't really like the chewing part.
The texture. Yeah. Yeah. The mango avocado banana smoothie is so delicious because it's really smooth and there's no seeds.
Yeah,
it's really
true.
Healthy too. But yeah, so to build it, so what do? You start with
You need liquid.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's usually with any blender you buy, the instructions will say add liquid first so that you don't burn out the engine.
For those people, I don't think it's called an engine.
Okay, the motor.
That's in a car, the motor.
Sorry.
It's a pull start. We need some more gas for the blender. This engine just won't start this morning.
Gas-fired fuel.
Gas-fired blender. You probably wouldn't have any lumps in that one. It's how to turn your lawnmower into a perfect smoothie maker.
Didn't you do that when we were making a cider press?
I gotta have the mulching blade, the cider press.
Yeah.
Well, it's just kind of funny aside, but we made some cider. We have this apple orchard with like a gazillion apples, and so I decided to make apple cider, and reading online, and people are like, yeah, you got to like munch the apples down first before you press them. And people were using carburetors, which just to me sounded nasty. But I guess if you buy a new one, which I did, and you keep it clean and you bleach it every time and all that, then it's good. And holy, it just works like amazing. It just like spits out this bucket full of liquid, essentially, almost like liquid. And then you press all the bits out of it, and it's the best juice ever. Yeah. So there's my little press story.
Yeah.
About the carburetor.
Yeah. And it was, it really is powerful. That's the one thing with making smoothies. You want a blender that works pretty well.
Yeah. You need a decent blender, because like Sandra said at the start of this little bit, you don't want to burn out the motor on your blender by having too much chunks. And those little blades, I mean, they're just little blades. You got to give them a chance. So keep your fruit small, like the chunks you put in there, and make sure there's enough liquid on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And if you're using lots of frozen fruit or vegetables or ice cubes, which some people use, that is going to be really tough on those blades and the engine, or the motor. So just food for thought. Haha. There's lots of powerful blenders out there, like Vitamix, or the one we have is awesome. It's like super powerful.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
Harley Pasternak or something like that. It's called.
Yeah, that's right.
It's been around for a couple of years.
So yeah, because prior to getting a good blender, we burned through blenders like every few months, because they don't stand up to the wear and tear of kids and family, like all the things you're doing in a blender. So
all those things you do in the blender. Yeah.
Some people use food processors. Yeah,
you could sort of prep some of the, like break down some of the chunkier stuff. It's the frozen stuff that it struggles with.
Yeah.
So I suppose
think
you could
people
break
need
down
something that's convenient and just like, really like basic. Let's just, put some food in a blender, mix it up and drink it, like take it out the door. I don't think people are going to want a 2-step process, like blending it in the food processor.
True. Well, you did suggest it. So I was just going along with that to help you out.
No, I'm just saying, I think people use food processors, like they can use them if they don't have a blender, but a blender is kind of the best way.
For sure.
To make a smoothie.
All right. So what goes in next after the liquid?
Well, what kind of liquid, first of all?
Oh, right.
You can use water.
I use water in my smoothies, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a good opportunity to get some protein and some other nutrients. And so I personally use either milk or oat milk, but you can use any plant-based milk alternative or regular milk, or even green tea. You can add that. I've done that too before, like in a kind of fresh tasting smoothie with cucumber and...
I'll pour the leftover coffee in it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we'll have ice cubes that we make out of the leftover coffee, which are good for like iced coffee in the summer. You throw that in some milk, and I'll sometimes put them in the smoothie for a little punch of coffee flavor.
Yeah, absolutely. A mocha type smoothie with some peanut butter and chocolate milk or cocoa powder.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the fluid, it's important to put the fluid in first, just so that you get that, so the blades are immersed.
Yeah.
Immersed. And then a lot of people put fruit. So 1 to 3 fruit is a good rule of thumb. So what kind of fruit, Rob? You said before.
I like frozen bananas, and I know we've mentioned this before, and I'm very particular about that. I find there's a huge difference between a frozen banana and a fresh banana. There's a different flavor. The texture is different. It just makes it kind of creamy and frosty and
sweet.
And yeah,
it definitely adds sweetness to it.
Yeah, the freezing it must change like something about it, because it tastes different.
Yeah, definitely creamy too, and smooth.
Yeah. So I usually put in a banana, and like I said, we have figs at our house, and so many that we've frozen a bunch of them. So I'm using them up, and they're amazing. If you have a fig tree, the thing with fig trees or not fig trees, but figs is they don't last long. So that's why we have bags of them in the freezer. So anyway, I'm throwing it in the smoothie, and they're sweet and they're creamy. And I just throw it in whole, like as is, peel and all, whatever. And they're so good.
Yeah, figs are so good because they have the fiber too, and they have that natural sweetness, low glycemic index, and really good for bone health actually too.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
So funny.
That was my first priority. I actually really put something in this smoothie for my bone health. Oh, look, we have figs. Perfect.
You crack me up. That's too funny. Well, I like the frozen avocado we mentioned, and
we have frozen avocado. Really?
In a bag.
Oh, like from the store, you mean?
We just talked about this.
No, I know you said that you you didn't say frozen avocado.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't made a smoothie in a while, so yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, don't need to because I make them and
well, there's 3 other people in the house. Yeah. I never have an opportunity to make it, so yeah, okay. Frozen avocado, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can get them diced or cubed in the bag all ready to put in the smoothie. So I usually just grab a handful of
smoothie friendly.
Yeah, smoothie friendly. Makes it a little bit of a green. And actually, the blog on the website, we'll link it in the show notes. It's all about health benefits of avocado smoothies.
Yummy. Yeah, and that would make it super creamy.
Yeah. So what are other fruits?
Berries.
Yeah.
Berries are good. But like I said, I don't like the seedy bits. But blueberries are
the seedy bits are good for you.
No, I know they're good for you. I'm just saying as far as the nutrition, they're good for you. As far as like, what do you call it? Like eating enjoyment or whatever, they rate low on that scale.
Okay. Well, I think the ones without seeds like cantaloupe, mango.
Yeah, mango.
Like fig, you said. You could put apple in there. Kiwis got lots of seeds, and they're really good in smoothies too. They're so delicious and lots of vitamin C and
they're good.
Fiber. You put orange in your smoothie, papaya, nectarine, peaches, pineapple, any berry, grapes without the seeds would be preferable. Without like the grape seeds.
Right.
Watermelon, frozen watermelon. We have that in the freezer.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, and that makes it really fresh too. Putting making a smoothie with watermelon and cucumber is making it like the taste is really fresh.
Yeah, and a little bit of rum. That usually add a bit of summer.
You're so funny, isn't
it? No, that's a no-no.
Yeah, out the door for breakfast, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. That'll be an interesting day.
And veggies are another thing you could add. That's a good place to get, one of your 5 vegetables to aim for in a day. So what we mentioned cucumbers.
I was going to say, you put cucumber in the smoothie the other day, which is something I've never tried. And I noticed it right away. It was like super fresh tasting. It became like the dominant flavor I found, but not in a bad way.
Well, I also put that lemon balm herb, like it's kind of like from the garden. So that made it really fresh.
It's like a liquid salad.
You can also put spinach. If you add like a handful of spinach or a handful of kale to your smoothie with other types of like if you're got berry smoothie going on, then that's a good way to just sneak in those veggies, the green leafy vegetables, without really even noticing.
You don't notice them. It changes the color, but you don't really notice.
Well, if you have an avocado smoothie with some spinach, then it's green anyways.
Right, exactly. Nothing wrong with a green smoothie.
No, that's what the blog is all about.
Healthy looking.
Yeah, delicious.
And then you said cabbage. You tried that today.
Yeah. You can put like cabbage or cucumber.
I wonder what beets would be like. It'd probably be good too, eh? Like not the pickled ones, but like just the raw. Like if you buy like a raw beet and clean it and chop it, and probably be like super purple. Yeah,
and then with the blueberries.
Yeah.
Or blackberries, and then maybe that purple cabbage too. But anyways, that's just a way to boost up those polyphenols, those antioxidants, and make it super healthy.
Exactly. And what about juice? We should probably talk about that because I bet there's a lot of people who will just think, I'm just going to add some whatever kind of fruit juice in here, and that'll be like adding fruit. But you're just probably adding a bunch of sugar, right? Because we talked about that before, the difference between eating a piece of fruit and eating the juice. It's
or drinking the juice. And chewing your smoothie. No,
yeah.
No. Good call. I mean, I find that with smoothies, you can do whatever you want, and variety is the spice of life. So if you have a little bit of cranberry juice or whatever type of juice that you want to just throw in to flavor it up a little bit, that just adds, it does add a lot of simple sugars. So for sure, like if you're someone that has to watch how much sugar, that you're eating and drinking, then you don't need to add juice to a smoothie, because if you're using fruit, then
you're kind of making juice. I find if you use water versus milk, then the end product is more like juice, because it's watery versus creamy. So depending on what you want for your smoothie.
Mm-hmm. Interesting idea.
Well, thank you.
So we also want to add a little bit of something that has some fat in it to your smoothie, just to help with feeling full after you have it. And we add some peanut butter into our smoothie, Rob?
Peanut butter's great.
Yeah, make it smooth and creamy and
so much flavor.
Yeah, and it gives it some fiber, gives some protein. And also a little bit of fat, which is actually a good thing to add to your smoothie just to round it out. And it helps with, we talked about this on fats, grease, and oil in episode 23, all about, the fat soluble vitamins. And if you have something that has a little bit of fat in it, then that helps your body and your gut absorb the A, D, E, and K, the fat soluble vitamins.
Oh, right.
So if you have something that's like no fat in it, then if there's food that have the fat soluble vitamins, then you might not be able to absorb them and digest them.
Right. So good to add. Well, and the avocado's fat, right? That's healthy fat.
Yeah.
Your peanut butter. What else?
The avocado is a really good one because it's a monounsaturated fat and it's a plant-based omega-3, so the ALA type of fat. It's super good for you.
Right on.
And like the peanut butter and any kind of dairy, say if you are adding milk or yogurt, then that's going to have probably some level of milk fat.
Right.
So, 2% would be a good one, or 1%. And also you can add, if you have, we're going to talk about the protein additions for protein. Food first, instead of relying on protein powders, but food first would be like what?
I put cottage cheese in mine. Cottage cheese is loaded with protein. Yeah. And a lot of people don't like cottage cheese for whatever reason, I guess because it's wet and chunky or something. But when you're putting it in your smoothie, I mean, that part is kind of irrelevant. It's just adding like the protein. You don't notice it
makes it creamy.
Oh, it makes it super creamy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's so good. It just breaks it down so much that it's so bland that you don't taste the cottage cheese, but it makes it creamy and adds some protein. So that's really good, and adds some calcium. And also if it's a 2% milk fat cottage cheese, you get a little bit of that fat to help increase the amount of fat in your smoothie.
Yeah. And yogurt as well, like Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, not the sugary flavored ones, but the plain Greek yogurt.
Well, any of the yogurts would work, but you're just saying in terms of nutrition I think it's got
higher protein, doesn't it? The Greek, I think.
Didn't we do an episode on that?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, we totally did.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up.
You're going to look it up? Okay, I'll just wait here.
Yeah, I think it was Nutrition Nuggets 11. We talked all about Greek versus regular yogurt and the differences there, nutritional differences, flavor differences.
Oh, wow. We've done that many Nutrition Nuggets, eh?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think with the Greek, a lot of people don't like it. It's so thick. Some people do. And like all yogurts, you want the plain would be a better option than the flavored, as you mentioned, because you're getting less sugar. But if that's all you have in the fridge is like, flavored yogurt, that totally goes into a smoothie easily.
Get it in there, yeah.
Yeah. I think adding yogurt to a smoothie is a really good idea because you do get some protein, a little bit of fat. It gives it creamy texture. It's a great addition if you take dairy and you include animal foods in your diet, then you can definitely add some yogurt, and it's good for the probiotics.
And if you don't include animal foods in your diet, then you can put tofu in your smoothie.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, that's a good one. And I know you're probably, the way you're saying it, it sounds like you're joking.
Oh, no, I'm not joking. I just know a lot of people go, ew, tofu. But it's like cottage cheese. I mean, it's in your smoothie. You have no idea. And it's really fun to give people tofu when they don't know they're eating it. I like doing that. And they're like, oh, this is delicious. What's in it? And then like, it's tofu. They're like, what? You go run into the door and never come back again.
You're so funny. Well, unless someone's got an allergy, Rob.
Well, yeah, no.
No, I'm just
I
joking.
don't know if there's such a thing as a tofu allergy.
Oh, yeah. Soy allergies. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I suppose.
But the dessert tofu, so the almond or berry or kiwi or banana, there's like different flavored dessert tofus.
Yep. They're a lot like the yogurt, or there's just regular plain tofu as well. But yeah, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So some sort of protein. So the cottage cheese, the yogurt, milk, tofu, peanut butter, hemp heart. So you can add some seeds in there. So maybe ground flax seeds or hemp heart. That will boost the fiber. They
might be better to be like ground in your coffee grinder first to make it more like dust, because I don't know if the blender would actually get to that with all that other stuff in there.
Powder, not dust.
Dust, yeah. Powder.
Gross. Yeah, let's eat some dust.
Throw some dust in there. It's for extra flavor.
Eat my dust.
Right? There you go.
That's so funny. Oh, and people do add protein powder to their smoothies. That's one way that people add the protein. If they're not using food first, or if they just have the protein powder in their cupboard, they add it to smoothies, because that's like probably the most common place to add protein powder is a smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's different options for that. There's plant-based ones. There's the whey protein powder. There's pea protein. There's hemp protein powder. So there's all the different ones. I don't really recommend the brown rice protein powder, because brown rice has a higher level of arsenic in it, and then it's not super high in protein. The flavor isn't great, and then you're also, increasing that arsenic, that heavy metal load.
That poison level. Yeah.
Well, it's a trace element, so we need a tiny little bit, but we actually get, most people get too much arsenic over the course of, like, we don't need to add.
We don't need to add arsenic, shake it on our food at dinner or whatever.
That's how they used to off people in the 1800s.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Remember movies like that? Where yeah. But it is
they give them brown rice protein powder.
No, they give them a dose of arsenic. So there's like a little bit. I'm just saying that it has a higher than normal level of arsenic, because the brown rice, it's in the bran of the brown rice. So and you can't really wash, like normally you wash your rice before cooking it, but you can't really wash
protein powder
to get rid of it.
It's difficult.
So, yeah. So anyways, that's another, actually, let's do a nutrition nuggets on brown rice maybe versus white rice. That might be an interesting one.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see, where are we at here? So flavor, you can make them sweet. You can make them fresh tasting. We talked about the cucumber and
watermelon,
maybe some mint leaves, watermelon. That's right. Or if you like them really sweet, some people really like them sweet. So, like the banana makes it sweet. The fig that you mentioned, even like a little bit of, in the smoothie this morning, I put a 1/4 cup of vanilla ice cream just because there was a lot of vegetables and fruits in it that weren't sweet. So, and I didn't use a banana, so I knew it would need some sort of sweetness. So I added a little bit of vanilla ice cream. Maybe sherbet would be good too.
Yeah.
But
whatever works.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can flavor it up, and you can also add spices, and like you can add cinnamon. If you put apples in there, and you can actually add cinnamon to your smoothies, or cocoa powder, turmeric. Some people actually add ginger or turmeric,
right,
to make them really like kind of spicier.
Spicy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
So there's lots of different ways to flavor them, and I think if people are used to having the same ingredients in their smoothie day after day, it's probably a good idea to try a new ingredient and just vary it up a little bit and just see the differences in the flavors.
Yeah. I've been to those smoothie places and it's crazy, the menu. Like they've got so many different options and different versions and flavors. And it's like, holy, I never thought of putting whatever thing in my smoothie, but
the combination.
Yeah,
right?
the combinations and just the ingredients themselves. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. And it's good. You can really experiment at home, and we'll have our recipe book out in the early fall probably, and it will have some smoothie recipes in that some of our guests have offered up and that we make too. So yeah, smoothies are so versatile, and it's a good way to get some of those vegetables and fruits and whole grains in a meal that's all blended up.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, anything else there?
Yeah, there's other episodes that we discussed. Dairy-free yogurt was episode 21. So that's all the gurts. Remember the plant gurts?
Oh yeah, the gurts.
The oat gurt, coconut gurt.
There's a little song if you go right to the very end. I don't know how many people have heard that. It's at the very end. It's an extra little bonus.
I know, we should post that somewhere, because that was really, you made that up with the guitar, and it's pretty funny.
I have fun sometimes.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes.
Sometimes I'm serious, Rob. Sometimes I'm not serious, Rob.
You're fun, Rob.
That's like a Friends thing. There was Fun Bobby.
Yeah, right.
Remember that guy? Or was that Seinfeld? It's one of those shows, Fun Bobby.
Yeah.
And he's always like goofy and fun, and I think Elaine was dating him or something. And
right.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was the very first episode we did was on plant-based milk alternatives. So That's another one just to scroll back to see about when you're building your smoothie, what are the health benefits and what to look for when you're looking at buying oat milk, almond milk.
Yeah, there's a big difference between all of those, so it's good to have a peek at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Well, that's about it. The takeaway message is to try to make a homemade smoothie at home, and maybe try different ingredients that you're not normally using in your smoothies.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? Nothing, right?
No.
Oh, there's corn in my smoothie? Oh, that's actually pretty good. It's sweet. Who would have thought?
You're so funny.
Yeah, you never know till you try.
Maybe soup.
Soup, yeah, it could become soup. So awesome. Well, thanks for sticking with us today. And don't forget to check out the social media pages. We're on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. You can check out our website at mywifethedietitian.com. You can email us your questions and comments at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to rate and review the show. If you're liking what you hear, give us a thumbs up or a star or a couple stars or as many stars as you think we deserve. 5 is nice. And we will be back next week. What are we talking about next week? We've got Jen Hernandez, I believe, joining us.
Yeah, that's right. On kidney health.
Kidney health, yeah. Kidney disease, more specifically.
And we talk about gourmet salts.
Oh, there you go.
Like the sea salt and Himalayan salt and all those with her. So that's a really good episode.
Yeah, so that'll be next Monday. So until then, have a good week, everyone.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.